Magandang tanghali. All throughout the week, we had been talking about Bikoy kasi may mga may mga developments tungkol dito. Please let me know if the audio is loud enough so that we can adjust accordingly. Pero alam ko more or less ayos na dapat ito. Let me just put it a little closer para hindi kayo na aabala dun sa hangin. All right. Bikoy, we all know the antecedents of this one. Hi, everybody. We know the antecedents of this one. A series of videos were uploaded both on YouTube and on Facebook. At ito ay naninira sa presidente at saka sa pamilya ng presidente. Nag-insinuate na sila po ay kasangkot sa illegal trade ng droga, ng bawal na gamot. At saka bawal, of course, mga restricted and illegal drugs. Okay? Ngayon, although hindi sila masyadong napansin, nakikita na meron concerted action, at least ito yung lumalabas dun sa mga subsequent developments, bukod sa dun sa pag-upload dun sa media balita na site, ito po ay within the minutes of being uploaded, several other blogs or sites or Facebook pages ay nag-upload din or nag-share immediately nitong mga to, including some well-known personalities dun sa community ng kabilang parlor. Okay. So, what happens next? The place ngayon, congratulations to SAS and Thinking Pinoy, who later on amplified the good work of SAS Wagando Sasot. They were able to trace the original owner, the owner of the site. Okay. And this brings about maraming naging responses dito. As a matter of fact, Media Balita itself issued a statement shortly after yung dun sa revelation ni SAS, no? At saka yung inadvertent na bulong namin dun sa Karambola. Sinabi nung nagpapatakbo ng site, who turns out to be Rodel Jaime later on, sinasabi niya na, okay, ako nag-upload, but that doesn't necessarily mean na ako ang may-ari ng video o akong gumawa ng video. Dinownload ko rin yan from somewhere else according to the statement issued by Metro Balita. Why is this significant? Because this forms part of the defense he was later on propounding to the NBI. Okay, so in the course of this, Secretary Guevara apparently was made to understand that the NBI began investigating the case. Bakit? On matters of national security, the law enforcement agencies or intelligence agencies are allowed or they can motu proprio. Motu proprio means on their own. Initiate an investigation. Bakit significant ito? Because later on, one of the columnists with the name of Raisa Robles says that there's something wrong with the arrest, so to speak, of Mr. Jaime, because apparently, according to her, there was no complaint. Although sinabihan naman daw siya nung nagkonsulta siya ng isang abogado na it can happen. It's possible for an investigation to be initiated without a complaint. Bakit? When it is matters of national security. And what is national security? It's the state protecting itself. Diba? Okay. So, bago lahat nun. So, syempre, maraming nag-speculate anong i-charge dito. So, what were the possible charges that were being propounded? Well, of course, on Luminous and on Carambola, we called it right. Ang sinabi namin is it will be inciting to sedition. Sorry, those are my dogs. Okay. What is inciting to sedition? First, in order to know what inciting to sedition is, tandaan natin kung ano yung sedition. Okay. Ayon dun sa revised penal code, the crime of sedition is committed by persons who rise publicly and tumultuously in order to attain by force, intimidation, or other means outside of legal methods any of the following objects. So, ibig sabihin may pag-aalsa. To prevent the promulgation or execution of any law by the holding of any popular election, to prevent the national government from exercising its functions. Take note, to prevent the national government from, or provincial or municipal government from freely exercising its functions. Okay? Or prevent the execution of any administrative order. So, it says the crime of sedition, it can be public uprising, or in order to attain by force, intimidation, or other means outside of legal methods. In other words, it doesn't have to be necessarily a rising up publicly, but any other means outside of legal methods in order to obtain the following. Prevent the promulgation or execution of a law. prevent the national government, provincial or municipal government, or any public officer, which means it could be the president, from freely exercising its or his functions, or to prevent the execution of any administrative order. There's more. To inflict any act of hate or revenge upon the person or property of a public officer or employee. To commit for any political end, any act of hate, any act of hate or revenge against private persons or social class, including tayo, tards. 5. To despoil for any political or social end any person, municipality, or province, or the national government and all its property or party thereof. Okay? Now, what does despoliation mean? Oops, kalimutan kong ilabas uli yung meaning ng despoil. So, ang inciting to sedition is iba lang yung means. So, inciting to sedition is to use other means without taking part in the crime of sedition, incite others to the accomplishment of the acts. So, to accomplish yung prevent the promulgation. Take note prevention of the holding of a popular election is also an act of sedition. So, if you incite other people to not take part in an election, then that is also inciting to sedition. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's way too many rumors online that are going on, and this is ridiculous in some extent. We'll talk about that later on. I'm giving you this information so that you can act accordingly, because all of us are active online, so that we can be careful that we don't violate any laws, because alam natin yung kabilang parlor yung ganon. Tayo, dapat alam natin kung ano yung mga batas para matuto rin tayo sumunod. Okay, so inciting to sedition is to encourage others through the means of speech, proclamations, writings, emblems, cartoons, banners, or other representations tending to the same end, or upon any person who shall utter seditious words or speeches, write, publish, or circulate scurrilous libels against the Republic of the Philippines or any of the duly constituted authorities thereof, which tend to disturb or obstruct a lawful officer in executing the functions of his office. Okay? Kakaproblema talaga sila doon. Which tend to instigate others to cabal and meet together for unlawful purposes. Ang daming pwede, ang daming pasok. Diba? So, what happened? Here in the Duterte administration, early on pa lang, maraming pikon. Okay, maraming inis that the president won, because let's face it, this president is a game changer. And obviously, yung kabilang parlor, hindi masyadong naka-entra dito sa administrasyon ng ating Pangulo. And therefore, feeling left out, a lot of them have been feeling disgruntled, a lot of them have been feeling, wala kaming papel. Okay, sige. So most of the time, when people feel that way, they undertake the opposition. They take the opposition stand. Why? The opposition's job usually is to keep the administration good. And, well, that's healthy in a democracy like ours. However, the opposition seems to have taken the role way too seriously and gone beyond it. Because yung ginagawa nila ay paninira na sa Pangulo. So ano nangyari? Kumakalat lang yung balita, not just here, dito sa Pilipinas, where natatabla sila, especially on social media, di ba? Natatabla sila. Yung pagka medyo ridiculous na yung mga paratang nila sa ating Pangulo, natatabla sila sa social media, and therefore, hindi sila makakuha ng momentum for the change in government. Remember that nung nag-succeed sila sa EDSA, 1 and 2, and to some extent, later on, 3, nung nag-work yun para sa kanila, gusto nila ulitin yung template na yun. Well, apparently, it is not working anymore, because with the popular opinion on the side of the president, hindi po sila makagain ng momentum. However, that doesn't mean that there wasn't any damage. Because of what they are doing, parating meron mga tinatawag tayo na mga scurrilous libels, o yung mga ridiculous na to the extreme na yung mga paratang nila dun sa ating Pangulo, and umaabot na sa point na nasisiraan na yung buong republika. Halimbawa, may mga, remember early on in this presidency, nag-threaten ng European Union na hindi na sila magbibigay ng grant sa atin, which made the president respond and say, paki namin, we won't accept your grants. Binigay pa rin. However, may mga gano'n na epekto. Diba? Nakaka-apekto ng mga relasyon natin sa ibang bansa or nakaka-apekto dun sa pagtingin ng ibang bansa sa atin. Kasi ang tingin nila, in fact, sa atin, sa mga sumusuporta sa ating Pangulo, ay sumusuporta tayo sa isang mamamatay tao, mandarambong, monster, sa madaling sabi. Which, of course, has no basis in truth whatsoever. Hindi lumalabas yung storya doon sa ibang bansa. That this is actually a revolution. This was our revolution, di ba? We got rid of existing powers that have been entrenched for 30 years, more than 30 years, from the time that Cory took position. Kasi nung si Cory naging presidente, this was a whole different power group na binalik niya. Yung iba binalik into power, yung iba bago. Okay? Remember, si Marcos represented also a revolution by himself. He got rid of the previous oligarchs, which he felt were burdening society, and then Cory came along and she put back those exact same oligarchs and put in new ones on her own. Marcos supposedly put in new ones of his own and ad nauseum. But Cory's influence remained profound until, in fact, her son was elected for the sole reason that she died. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung itong power group na ito, na let's face it, either magkakamag-anak sila or associated with each other some way or another, have been displaced in the power structure. So, yung narrative nila, ang pinipilit nila sa mundo. Samantalang tayo, iba yung narrative natin. Ang pagkakaalam natin at pagkakaintindi natin dito sa pangyayari na kaya na-elect si President Duterte, si Pangulong Duterte, is because tayo, naasar na tayo sa kanila. We've had enough. We've had enough of the incompetence and the corruption and the condescension. Diba? Hindi ko naman kayo kilala, so etchepuera kayo, di ba? Yung mga ganun eh. Wala silang wala silang kaamora-amora sa taong bayan. So, the election of President Duterte represents for us a good and positive change. Pero yung narrative na pinapalabas nila, it's completely different. As a matter of fact, parang pinalalabas na diktador, mamamatay tao, corrupt, binenta tayo sa China. Ang dami nilang narratives that unfortunately, because also hindi sila nasalag ng mga appropriate government agencies, kaway-kaway kayo dun sa appropriate government agency na yan, hindi nasalag. Kaya hindi ito na-neutralize. So, when it became ganito na kalala, remember also, early on in the Duterte administration, nung Secretary of Justice pa si Aguirre, and I don't mean to criticize him too much, but nung panahon pa lang ni Duterte, pinopoint out na ng mga vloggers na teka, sumusobra na yung kabilang parlor sa kanilang pagsasalita against the president, malala na talaga yung mga sinasabi, pero walang, nagsusuggest pa nga kami, pwede kayong ng criminal case for violation of Article 154 of the Revised Penal Code, which is the false publications and unlawful utterances. Pero parang ang feeling namin, di ba dinedma tayo? Parang ganun eh, parang pati kayo umaandar, sinisiraan na yung Pangulo natin. And consequently, sinisiraan din yung bansa natin. Parang nagmumukhang narco-state, pero yung narco-state pinapatakbo ng gobyerno. Parang gano'n. O tsaka, grabe yung human rights violations. Kulang na lang parang feeling ng mga taga-kabilang bansa. Dumadanak ang dugo dun sa kalye. Samantalang, baliktad naman yung pakiramdam natin. Ang pakiramdam natin is peaceful and law-abiding citizens feel safe. So, ang laki ng difference between what we actually feel here in the Philippines and what is being narrated abroad. Tingnan niyo lang yung parang idol nila dun sa kabilang parlor, dun sa kabilang bansa, sa ibang bansa. Si Maria Ressa, really, what has she done? What has she done for us? Nothing. O at least hindi natin nararamdaman na meron siyang na ipakita sa atin. At saka yung narrative ng kabila na pinaglalaban nila, mga karapatan natin, really? Hindi ba karapatan natin na mabuhay ng tahimik? Hindi ba karapatan natin na magkaroon ng infrastructure? Hindi ba karapatan natin na maaari akong maglakad sa kalye ng hating gabi at hindi ako minomolestya o naho-hold up? Diba? So, nakikita natin na because nga napabayaan yung narrative na yon, ngayon malala na yung mga sinasabi nila. At umabot dito sa point na dahil sa malala na siya, kailangan ng umaksyon ang Estado, and dito pumasok ang DOJ. Because of the Bikoy videos, masyado nang malala. Isipin nyo, i-accuse nila ang ating Pangulo na siya yung narco-lord, na siya yung nagpapatak ng kaya daw pinapatay yung mga ang mga mahihirap, ang mga drug runners or mga addict or whatever, ay dahil daw gusto nilang solohin yung drug trade. Of course, ang daming mali, ha? And I'm not saying that this was a well-put or an intelligent campaign or propaganda material, but it was there. Kumbaga, umabot na dun sa punto na sinasabi nila na ang gobyerno na ay nagpapatakbo ng illicit drug trade, and there was no other way to address it except for the DOJ to start looking into this. That is why, pag sinasabi nila, oh, may cyber libel dyan or libel, kailangan kasi magreklamo ang Pangulo. It becomes a matter that is personal to him at saka yung mga members ng family niya. In other words, kailangan ng private complainant. Kailangan mag-allege ng damages yung pamilyang Duterte, si Man Scarpio, si Vice Pulong, yung mga yan, na si Ma'am Hanilet on behalf of Kitty, kailangan i-assert nila yung mga karapatan nila na hindi sila siraan ng ganyan. But the Duterte family is not likely to do that. Anong sabi ng Presidente? I will leave it up to the NBI to see if a crime has been committed. And there it is. There are several crimes committed. Among them, libel against the several members of the Duterte family. And the more important case here, of course, is inciting to sedition. Bakit? Ang inciting to sedition, maaari yung iumpisa dahil gusto ng Estado na protektahan ang sarili nila. Ang sarili the state protecting itself. So, this is not anymore one person or several persons feeling aggrieved. Oy, siniraan mo ko, habla kita kasi may damages yan. Kailangan i-restore mo yung damages. Ako lang, hindi yung buong bansa yung nagkakaproblema dito. Pero inciting to sedition, it goes into the national security, into the security of the state, and into the peace and order situation. Kasi nga, ang inciting to sedition means na hinihikayat, whether directly or indirectly, ang taong bayan na umalsa laban dito sa authorities na to. Whether that is well put or yung sobrang convincing sila, it doesn't matter whether they're convincing or not. All it needs is a tendency for these speeches or utterances, this video, whatever, tends to incite sedition. And among those acts of inciting to sedition is uttering seditious words or speeches or circulating scurrilous libels. Tuntua ako dyan sa scurrilous libels kasi matagal na naming sinasabi yan. And we're very happy that Secretary Maynard Guevara appears to understand where we were coming from. No, I'm not saying kami yung nagsabi noon. What I'm saying is that pareho kami nang iniisip na ito, inciting to sedition na yung ginagawa ng kabilang parlor, lalong-lalo na yung Bikoy videos na yan. Bakit? Bukod sa there were lies, the lies were so horrible, yun na nga, scurrilous na, that they tend to disrupt the state activities and tend to incite people to rise against the duly constituted authorities. Okay, so yan ang context nito. That is why inciting to sedition becomes the more important case. Not the libel, not the child abuse, yung mga gata. Ang dami sa inyo na masyado kayong nakatutok dun sa kay Kitty. I understand because bata yung involved dito. And I understand that there's an emotional response for all of us because Kitty is a minor, but that's not the main case. Because if you talk about the rights of this child, then you're talking about the personal damage to her. But what we're looking at, in order for the state to act legitimately dito, is inciting to sedition because it goes into the security of the state. I'm not saying na hindi importante yun sa kay Kitty. It is, of course. It is, pero these are about individual rights. When we're talking about inciting to sedition or even sedition, inciting to rebellion, and all of these things, we're talking about the very existence of the state. Okay? So may hanash ngayon si Hilbay na, the president isn't the state. Girl! Diba? Girl! Oh my goodness! Have you read your revised penal code? The scurrilous libels can be against the Republic of the Philippines or any of the duly constituted authorities. So it can be against yan sa president. Ano ba? Diba? I mean, I'm not angry at candidate Hilbay, but I am a little concerned that in his partisanship, dahil masyado siyang dilaw or dahil nangangampanya siya, hindi naman po maayos yung impormasyon na ibinibigay niya. Kasi dito sa Luminous, even if masakit yung information, kunwari, I have to tell you, no, tama yung kabilang parlor when it comes to this, then we will tell you that. But what he's doing is injecting politics into his information to the point that it becomes, how do you call this? Unbelievable. Okay? Okay. Sabi ni Israel Angeles, I heard Paglinawan authored the definition of sedition as a row 4 siya, entitled Autobiography Story of My Life. Very funny. I thought you were serious. Anyway, okay. I have notes. Ngayon, what is the penalty for sedition? At naiirita talaga ako when people say, available naman yan. Mga people of the Philippines, konti lang po ang non-bailable na mga krimen sa atin. So please don't say bailable naman yan. As if being bailable was something bad. The Constitution says bail is a matter of right. Huwag niyo naman i-involve yung personal feelings ninyo na parang lumalabas is bail is something that we should be angry at. Please don't do that. Because it might be you next time. So let's not go there. Okay? Sabi ng ating saligang batas, bail is a matter of right except when it is capital punishment and evidence of guilt is strong. Okay? At sabi ni Kevin, sa plan, intellectually dishonest is the correct word. Yes, I agree. Okay, again. So let's go back. Shucks, nawala ako. What was that? Bail. Okay, we were talking about bail. Now, please don't say, available naman yan, especially in that tone, because if you're a good litigator, doesn't matter if it's bailable. There will be ways and there will be ways of keeping you detained. How? Well, if you're too scared to get out of the confines of prison where we're more or less safer, under the custody of the DOJ or the NBI, then of course, bail is irrelevant when you're in the witness protection program. Diba? Bakit? When you're in the witness protection program, doon ka sa tirahan na i-designate ng DOJ. Doon ka titira. Do you think you're going to be free to walk around? Of course not. Para ka rin nakakulong doon. So, wag niyong i-mix yung feelings ninyo about, this person and going into the right to bail or not. Number 2, penalties. May nagsabi ba naman na, 6 months to 6 years lang? Baba naman, nakakainis, wala rin. Oh my gosh, you guys, nakaka-demoralize for those of us who are trying to do this to you and giving you information. Please don't do that. Also, Secretary Guevara is working really hard on this. Please don't demoralize even the NBI agents who have had to do their research on this. Now, again, look, how many videos were there? 5? Now, since they were uploaded separately, it can be argued that each video is a single act of inciting to sedition. It could be also the other way around, but the point here is that the NBI will assert as many charges as possible. Okay? As many charges as possible. Therefore, instead of saying that this was an entire operation and just a single act of inciting to sedition, no, they're going to say 5 videos, 5 instances of inciting to sedition. Now, if you look at the cyber crimes law, except for libel, in libel, okay, pagka-libel, sabi maliwanag dun sa cyber crimes law na kapag libel, isang means lang. Either libel yan under the revised penal code or cyber libel yan under the cyber crimes law. But you cannot charge for both. However, there are certain crimes that can result from a single act. So you can be charged with several crimes for a single act. For example, estafa in BP 22. Same act, 2 different crimes. And they can you can be charged for both. Okay, there's no jeopardy if you go through one case and not the other. Or a single case, di ba? Kunwari, ma-filean ka ng estafa, it's without prejudice to being filed for later on for BP 22. So very clear ang cyber libel law natin that for other crimes that are penalized in the revised that are prescribed in the revised penal code, if they can be committed through IT or through computer, through internet, then you can file 2 different cases in all instances except for cyber libel. But the the law is clear that the judge will have to determine whether or not these are two separate crimes or just a single crime, and therefore they'll go for the one with a higher penalty. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? This means, hold on, may tumatawag kasi. Okay. Stop. Ay, shoot. Sorry. Ang hirap talaga pagka may tumatawag eh. So guys, please, yung mga friends ko, please stop calling me. Okay? Naka-live ako. Please always check when I'm live. Okay. So, what does this mean? It means that at least for the moment, Mr. Rodel Jaime can be charged for both inciting to sedition under the revised penal code and inciting to sedition, cyber inciting to sedition under the cybercrimes law. Okay. Okay, Boy Castro, sinagot ko na po yan. Sedition is against the government. Tumigil nga si Hilbay. I already read the provisions of the revised penal code on this one. And it's very, very clear that Mr. Hilbay is politicking and pandering. Okay? Alright. So, what does this mean? It means he can have as many as 10 charges against him. And these 10 charges, even if they're all bailable, he has to file for bail separately for each charge. Okay? So, wag niyo akong ihanash na, ay, bailable naman yan. Naku, nagigigil talaga ako sa inyo. Basa muna. Basa muna. That's why I'm giving you this information. At saka wag kayong magkalat ng information, ng misinformation. Halimbawa, may nagsabi sa akin, hindi na daw po prison correctional ang penalty for inciting to sedition, ano na daw, reclusion perpetua, which is under Presidential Decree 1834. Ito yung problema. 1834 was repealed later on by Bikoy under Executive Order 137, if I'm not mistaken, which means nag-revert to prison correctional yung penalty ng inciting to sedition. So, wag po kayong magkakalat ng misinformation. The penalty for inciting to sedition remains at prison correctional. Okay? Prison correctional, not reclusion perpetua. And just because it is prison correctional and it is bailable doesn't mean all the hard work of the DOJ doesn't go into anything. Please don't demoralize our law enforcers for doing the right thing. Nairita ako. Sorry. You know why? When the law enforcement agencies, when our DOJ, alam mo, ang tagal-tagal naming kinukulit ang DOJ to start taking cognizance of all of these things, no? Yung mga false na information na mga labas sa kabila, yung pag ginagawa pa nila sa atin, yung tayo pa yung ina-accuse ng mga fake news, tayo pa yung tinatawag na bayaran. Pero the things that, yung mga ganyan, pwede lang, okay lang, bakbakan tayo online. They don't fight fair, sige, we'll find a way to get at them. However, when they are destroying the president, and they're trying to prevent him from fully executing his functions, then this becomes not only a state interest, but the safety goes into the safety and security of all people, because it goes into our peace and order, into our stability, both as a nation and as a booming economy. Atawa ako kay Doris Thomas. Mas marunong si Trixie, alam niya yung batas, kaya huwag niyang inisin. Hindi. Naano lang ako. Uminit lang kasi ulo ko. Kasi parang lumalabas na after everything that the DOJ has done, after everything that the NBI is doing, sasabihin niyo, available naman pala. Babaliwala niyo in one statement all the hard work. Diba? Huwag naman ganun. Okay. So, yan. While it is bailable, you have to file for all the charges. And also, remember that the NBI is going to push for as many charges as possible. Now, they're going to indicate yung mga cyber libel and all of that. And it's possible that if there will be probable cause for this, because all they have to do is find the person that probably did it and whether or not the crime probably has been committed. The question now is, because libel is a malicious imputation of a crime, vice, or defect, mahalaga dito yung testigo nung tao na siniraan. So again, I'll go back to inciting to sedition. This remains the strongest case. It is also strong on cyber libel, pero ang problema sa cyber libel, yung pag-share is not cyber libel. Yung publication, at saka yung authorship, yon mahalaga yon. If there is a business manager of a site, meaning yung tao na nagbebenta ng ads, then that will be that will also constitute cyber libel. Okay? Sige. So, yun. Kaya, pagpapansinin ninyo, yung ating media, pinangungunahan na ng isang real estate company, ay sinasabi nila na, oy, itong si Rodel Jaime was arrested just for sharing a video. Okay? Parang ang nasa utak nila kasi is the cyber libel law. Kasi under cyber libel, mere sharing or commenting or liking is not libel. It's not cyber libel. Ang cyber libel will still be the person who made the utterance, the person who authored the utterance, the person who published, and the business manager or managing editor of the site. Yun po ang may libel. Same is not true when it is inciting to sedition, kasi pagdating sa scurrilous libels, write, publish, and circulate, all of those are punishable. Okay? So, the author, the publisher, and the person who circulated it. So, if you say that this person merely shared it, that will amount to circulation. Okay? It could amount to circulation. Okay? What does that mean? Meron pang ibang mga sites na who amplified the Bikoy videos, at yung mga sites na yan na nag-amplify can be considered, can be charged with inciting to sedition dahil sila ay nag-circulate ng scurrilous libel. Okay? Now, the person who caused the publication can also be held liable because ano yung act of publication? The person who paid for that publication, the person who made this person upload it, because the act of publication can be several acts. Okay? So, wag na kayong maiinis, ha? Kasi this represents a significant development. Malaking bagay po ito. Huwag niyong i-dismiss. Kuha naman yung NBI at yung DOJ. Ginagawa na nga nila ng paraan para na... Remember how online you keep saying, wala bang paraan para matahimik itong mga to? Wala bang paraan? Can't we hold these people liable for this? Tapos ito na nga, may ginawa ang NBI. Tapos sasabihan niyo pa ng available naman yan eh. My goodness, you guys! What do you want? Really? Huwag kayong ganyan. So, I think what I'm saying is that let's appreciate naman what is being done. The problem kasi is gusto ninyo ng habang buhay na kulong itong mga to, and that goes against the constitutional guarantee of freedom of speech. Okay? Remember na one of our greatest freedoms is the freedom of speech. Kaya nga tayo nagagalit sa ginagawa ng Facebook sa atin. Tini-take down yung mga accounts. Nire-report tayo. Ang dami-daming hanash. Kumbaga, tayo yung tina-target. Pero pag tayo po yung tina-target, di ba galit na galit tayo, keep saying, oh, bakit mo ako binlock, Maria Reza? Hindi ka na diniwala sa freedom of speech? O, lakas natin maki-freedom of speech, pero tayo gusto natin i-oppress yung kanila. Yung panghabang buhay na kulong for something that has been said, unless it resulted in war, di ba? Is, I think, too much. Naiintindihan ko yung galit ninyo. Super naiintindihan ko. Kasi grabe rin naman ako balahurain ng kabilang parlor. Pero, if you can dish it, you should be able to take it. Yan po yung nature kung bakit nag-advocate tayo ng free speech. May kwento ako. Kilala niyo si Attorney Jess Falsis, right? I met him nung in-interview namin si senatorial candidate Juan Ponce Enrile. Tapos, he started to apologize. Kasi, let's face it, malaking tulong naman yung si TP, si Sas, kami. We helped him out during the Chris Aquino problem with his brother. So I think that he has been grateful, and to be fair with him, no, he has been grateful. So when I met, sabi niya, he started to apologize, and I told him, alam mo, Attorney Falsis, you don't have to apologize. I think that if we were going to advocate for free speech, that should include the right to offend people. Ay hindi dapat tayo talaga masyadong, how do you call this? Masyadong manipis ang balat. Kasi if we're online, balahuraan talaga tayo online eh, di ba? So, tinatanong ni Mario Jose magkano ang bail sa lahat ng cases kay Rodel at saan siya pwede kumuha ng pera kung high school grad lang siya. Ayan ka na naman ha. At actually, pinost ko na po yan. So, bakit kayo naiiyak kung hindi niya kayang mag-bail? Di ba? Isn't that what we want? We want him where we can get at him. So, yun yung point ko. Ako, really, alam nyo, for the longest time, halimbawa, dito kay Pinoy Ako Blog, and I really want to mention this, matagal na niya akong binabalahura, and I never did anything to her. For the longest time, I ignored her. At kahit hanggang ngayong araw na ito, kahit kailan hindi ko siya tinawag na pangit. Except in one instance na nagulat kasi ako. Kasi ba naman, biglang nag-post siya at sinabing, parang pakialamerang tsaka daw ako or something like that. It's in Franco Mabanta's complaint. Counter affidavit sa kanya. Nung kinasuhan niya si Franco for calling her ugly. So, ang isang defense ni Franco was that, wait, galit ka because I called you ugly? Didn't you do that to Trixie and Lorraine and several other people? So, take note, to this day, hindi ko siya tinatawag na pangit. Kasi I really want to take the moral high ground here. I don't care kung pangit siya. But I care na kung ano-ano yung pinagsasabi niya na walang basihan either in fact. Ang hilig niya magpauso ng resibo. Wala naman siyang resibo lately. Diba? So, yun yung sinasabi ko. If I'm going to be offended by somebody else, that entitles me to be offensive against them. And that's what freedom of speech is about. It includes the speech that you don't like. So pag nagagalit kayo na bailable for something that is a mere utterance, then I think we really have to consider, teka muna, wait, this could happen to us also. So let's be cool about that. In fact, let's be happy, gumagawa na nga yung paraan. I mean, the DOJ has finally taken an active role on the people na ninira sa gobyerno and affecting the stability, affecting the stability of this country. Okay? So let's not do that. Let's encourage our NBI and our Sabi ni Jeremy Huber, sometimes you have to speak their language so they can understand what you mean. I know, basta tinawag niya ako ng na pakialamerang tsaka. So, kumbaga may utang siya sa akin on that ground. But, yung mga ganyan na hanash, sino bang nagmukhang, nagmukhang, parang, hello, hiyang-hiya naman ako, di ba? So, it doesn't add value. Halimbawa, dito, nagla-live tayo ng ganito so that we can give information, so that people will benefit from it. Or at least I'll give you something to think about. Something like a point of view that makes you see another side, so that you can see that things aren't always black and white. Diba? Sometimes it's all different shades of gray and we just have to choose the best one. Diba? Sabi ni Feli Judan, huwag patulan, just watch them and do what is good for the future. Yun na nga. So, let's not get too upset. I mean, masaya naman talagang balahurain minsan yung kabilang parlor. And they should be able to take it. Yun ang nakakainis sa kanila. Gusto nilang sumali sa balahuraan, pero sila, snowflake sila. Huwag ganun. Po naman, If you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. Ako, kaya ko, kayo. Diba? Patigasan na lang tayo. Sabi ni Nitz, Ilustre, tama ka, ang DOJ at NBI na ang nagbigay ng statement. Sabi ni Mary Ann, yung itsura niya, same sa ugali. Yun. So, the whole idea of the freedom of speech is that we can all speak. Diba? The only time na bawal yan is when it presents a danger. A danger to the state, a danger to the reputation of the person that cannot get it back. Diba? If it's going to cause such damage or danger to life. Diba? Kaya nga bawal yung sumigaw ka sa sinehan na, oy, sunog, wala naman sunog. So these are examples of dangerous speech. And another example of dangerous speech is inciting to sedition and inciting to rebellion. Yung mga tipong, sugod, mga kaibigan, patayin natin sila. That is restricted speech. Huh? Why? Because it is dangerous. It endangers the state, not just its stability, but the very existence of the state. Okay? Kaya, ako, kung mapapansin niyo, very few of the bloggers are actually saying something like Revgov na. Diba? Because inciting to rebellion is a crime. Like inciting to seditions. Please. So, yun, please be very, very careful. And yung iba nga, merong mga pinipilit na kailangan magkomento tungkol dun sa ilang mga lumalabas about the election process. And I keep telling you, there's freedom of speech, but there is speech that has to be restricted. One of them is when your speech will cause a loss of confidence in the electoral process. Okay? Okay, so be careful. That's completely legitimate. Sabi ni Jose, pag naiinis daw ako, lalong gumagaling sa papaliwanag. Passion pa. Huwag na naman akong inisin. So again, in the greater scheme of things, the rule is freedom of speech. The exceptions, things like inciting to sedition, inciting to rebellion, false utterances, false publications, a libel. These things, and the restriction of speech during campaign periods, any speech which tends to cause a loss of confidence in the electoral system to the point where voters will not vote is restricted speech and punished as a violation of the Omnibus Election Code and an electoral offense. You know why I'm asking you to be careful? Because if some of you are campaigning actively for some candidates and you are restricted in your speech, your candidate can also be disqualified. Okay? All right. Questions. Check na natin yung mga questions niyo. Sabi ni Marisol Gloriani, may mga nakita kong ganyang comment sa hanay ng mga 8 supporters. Nagyayaya silang patayin ng Pangulo o mamamatay na daw. Medyo below the belt na sila mag-comment. Agree, these things are restricted speech. They're dangerous. Sabi ni Eddie De Leon, nakafocus tayo kay Rodel, sinasamantala na ng Comelec ang dayaan, baka magising tayo, yellow na. Yan. Yung mga ganyang klaseng speech. That's technically yung sinasabi mo na yan, that's still allowed. Pero yung and I'm a little worried about this. Yung mga tao na, ayan, nag-umpisa na sila ng dayaan. That is dangerous speech. Okay? We want to protect our candidates. Particularly ako, I have a special interest in protecting the candidacy of Attorney Glenn Chong. And I don't want anybody to assert na may dayaan dito sa electoral process without evidence and without filing a case. Okay? Doon sa mga nag-ask ng status, I already gave a status update. Kaya mga people, mga friendship, please monitor the Luminous page because when I update, I will always post it. Okay? Or I will always do it on live. Parati yan. So pag sinabi ninyong ano na yung update, you need to look at the wall or you need to check the live. At saka mga friends na nakakuha na ng updates, please inform the other people about it. So yung petition natin, ilang ulit ko na rin sinabi, now I am waiting for documents from Attorney Glenn Chong that need to be filed with the COMELEC as a condition precedent to that petition. Okay? Without that document, we cannot file the petition. So, until we do so, until we update that the petition is being filed, wala pa pong update. Okay? Okay. So, anong sasabihin natin dun sa mga taong nagsasabi na, ay, bailable naman yung inciting to sedition na yan? How many counts possible? 5 to 10. Okay? It can, the prosecutor might say, well, there's just one count for everything. Posible din yun. And it will still be 6 years. But will Mr. Jaime really want to go out on bail? Unang-una, laglag na siya eh. Diba? Laglag na siya ng kabilang parlor. Now, hindi ako naniniwala that he will get killed or hurt. Naniniwala ako na he will end up going to jail because nobody is supporting him. He did not get the same kind of support that Miss Laurio got. Meron siya mga volunteer lawyers. He is not getting the kind of support that Kokoy Dayaw got kasi nakatakbo siya out of the country. Diba? Yung mga ganyan. So, Mr. Jaime clearly feels that he's on his own. So, makikipagsapalala na lang siya dun sa prosecution. Okay? So, ano naman ang sasabihin natin dun sa mga nagsasabi na baliwala rin naman pala yan dahil 6 months to 6 years lang. Pakipaliwanag na lang sa iba. Ano yung reaction natin kapag sinabi uli ni Florin Hilbay na the president is not the state? Pakibasa po ang inciting to sedition. Diba? Commission of scurrilous libels against the Republic of the Philippines or any of the duly constituted authorities thereof, or which tend to disturb or obstruct any lawful officer in executing the functions of his office, or which tend to instigate others to cabal and meet together for unlawful purposes, or which suggest or incite people against the lawful authorities or to disturb the peace of the community. Okay? And the safety and order of the government. Mantakid mo, sabihin nila sa Pangulo na siya yung drug lord. Okay? Okay. So, yun. Do not be demoralized by the prison correctional term because it can be up to 5 or 10 charges. Do not be demoralized by the fact that it is bailable because bail is always a matter of right. The exception is for cases that are punishable by reclusion perpetua where evidence of guilt is strong. Ano yung mga cases na reclusion perpetua? Naman kayo guys ha? Plunder. Yung mga ganyan. Yung mga malalala na talaga. Murder. Okay? So, please, let's not equate what a person has said as something that is a non-bailable crime. We have to also be careful to protect free speech. Okay, I will not take any videos seriously until that video has been verified. The source has been verified, and we know that this is not, and once we know that this is not an op by the other party to try to prevent people from voting because they will lose confidence in the electoral process. If you will notice po sa Luminous, hindi namin pinapatulan yung mga videos that tend to make people lose their faith in the system. Okay? Because that also means that it is possible that people will stop going to vote because iisipin nila na idadayain na lang naman pala bakit pa ako boboto? And that falls right into the hands of the enemy. Okay, right into the hands of the yellow parlor. Kasi konti lang sila. Sabi ni Geraldine Tyre, hindi baliwala yung kaso kasi kahit 6 years lang yan. Yung fact pa lang nasira yung kalaban sa paninira nila sa Pangulo, malaking epekto na sa kanila yon. Sabi ni Elim Osawa, sa Zambales, grabe ang paninira kay Duterte, sila daw talagang drug lords. Yon, that's inciting to sedition also. So sabi ni Eric Sanchez, don't stoop down to their level, choose your battles. Okay, pag merong mga reports then na dito sa eleksyon, okay, because this is about free speech. It's okay to let people vent online. Pero yung mag-share ka pa, na hindi naman natin alam kung nagsasabi ng totoo yung tao, wag naman pong gano'n. So if somebody claims, may dayaan dito kasi ganito nangyari sa balota ko, let's verify first. Okay? And also, the reason hindi basta ma-action ng COMELEC is because they have to see if that complaint will have an effect on the final outcome. They don't have enough manpower to answer every single complaint right away. They have to answer every single complaint, but they can't do it all at the same time. And there are two kinds of controversies, tinatawag cases sa election. The pre-proclamation controversy, which goes into the qualification of the candidate and which you can prevent the proclamation of a candidate. Or even, three pala. Third is when there is a possible failure of elections, where there is widespread cheating or widespread violence that prevent people from voting. Okay, so pwedeng failure of elections yun. And third are the post-proclamation cases, which go into the system itself. Okay, ito yung katulad nung kay BBM. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people disgruntled, masyadong matagal, masyadong gano pagka nag-file pa ng ganyan. Ngayon pa lang dapat nagre-reklamo na tayo. You think that yung pagre-reklamo nyo ngayon is not restricted speech? It is. Okay? So you have to be very, very careful. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. It's okay to post if you think that nadaya ka or your vote has been invalidated because of this, or this. That's okay. That's part of your freedom of speech. But if you want something done, you have to file a case. Okay? You have to be part of the system. You have to take part in the system. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to affect any change. Sabi ni Jane Abejuela, and yes, everybody please join in. Mamaya po may rally 6 p.m. through the Kakampi page. Andun si Attorney Glenn Chong. Help us disseminate this information po. Miss Jane, can you send it to my inbox dito sa Luminous? And I will know whatever you need to be posted about Glenn, and I will very gladly post it both in my personal account and in the Luminous page, and we'll ask our other friends to do the same. Okay? So no problem. Guys, don't forget, may online rally si Attorney Glenn Chong at 6 p.m. Please go to his page. Madali naman siyang hanapin. Okay. Sabi ni Rosalie Augusto, tamang sinabi ni Sir Carlos na paniwalaan natin ang gobyerno ni Duterte na hindi mangyayari ang dayaan. Yeah. Sabi ni Roslyn Mendoza, pindayaan, kailangan bumoto tayo kasi kahit nandaya nun si Mar at Lenny, pero nanalo pa rin si President Duterte, basta sama-sama mananalo yung tamang kandidato. Yes, I'm not saying na walang dayaan, and I'm not saying that we should trust the officials of COMELEC. I'm not even saying that we should trust the other candidates. I don't. I know that if these people had an opportunity to cheat, they are going to cheat. But how do you defeat that? By going out to vote. And if you see anything wrong, by filing a case. Okay? And always, always, always question people who will post supposedly a crime, an anomaly or something, but they don't file a case or tell us na hindi ko po kaya mag-attend ng mga hearings, hindi ko pa, then yung galit mo, it's just galit without any intent to change things. Okay. Okay, so maraming salamat. Wala. Ang dami kong hindi nakitang questions kasi nag-oily na yung mukha ko. Sabi ni Charlo Kalang, daming viewers mo. Kay sa DWIZ 50 viewers. Kayo talaga, hindi naman. So, sino bang nakaupo ngayon? Sabi na ni Kenneth sige, comment tayo dito. Sabi daw ng Rappler, if the government can receive aid from foreign countries, why not local media? Diyos ko, ang hanash ng lola mo. Okay. Unang-una, when they receive from other countries, they have to report it, and they have to report it as income, and they have to pay income taxes on that. If what they receive in aid is kept a secret, then the ethics of this is that it should not be kept a secret because they are media. Third, if this aid translates into a form of control, then this violates the Constitution. So girl, apples and oranges ka, but that doesn't mean that you're right. Okay? Naman. Sabi ni Delio Balaan, ilang taon na daw ako? Never ever ask a woman that. Matanda na ako, ano ba kayo? Sabi ni Clem, anong advice bibigay kay Jaime so that you will not be in a quandary again? I think you should study the exceptions to the rule of freedom of speech. Diba? Ang Rappler, parang hindi. Tingnan mo ha, and another thing we need to notice, nagpa-file ng kaliwat kanan na kaso ang Rappler at ang NUJP at iba pang media outfits sa Korte Suprema alleging na no-oppress ang freedom of speech nila. Isa sa kaso na to ay itong supposed matrix ay nakakapag-oppress daw dun sa rights ng media na makapag-report. Ino-oppress daw yung freedom of the press dahil dun sa paglabas ng matrix. Girl! Unang-una ang naglabas ng matrix was the Manila Times, not the Office of the President. Sinasabi nila na the information came from the Office of the President, but they did not announce it. So, where is the oppression coming when you're saying that the government is oppressing you? It was the Manila Times that published it. Diba? Now, next. Ang hilig nilang magsabi na ino-oppress sila. Pero anong ginagawa nila sa mga vloggers? Una, binawal nila ang vloggers na mag-cover ng Malacanang. Pinressure nila si Sec Martin Andanar na huwag i-allow ang vloggers doon sa press briefings ng Malacanang. Pero naghuhuramentado si Pia Ranyada na hindi siya ina-allow sa Malacanang press briefings. In the same way na ayaw nila na mag-cover ang vloggers. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Kinarman lola nyo. Diba? Ay, sorry. Kinarma si Madam Pia. Pakabait tayo. Kinarma si Pia. Why? They don't want vloggers to cover Malacanang, but they don't see that as oppression, ha? Pero pag sila, hindi sila pinayagan mag-cover ng Malacanang, magugunaw ang mundo. Diba? Oh, please. Huwag kayong snowflake. Sabi ni Elek, bakit ang dami na nakikitang violation sa mga ballots? Oy, what is dami? Dami is relative. Bakit walang action ng Office of the President? Hello! The Office of the President has no power over the COMELEC. Ulitin ko yan ha, ang dami niyong humahanas sa Pangulo natin tungkol dito sa electoral system. The Commission on Elections is a constitutionally independent body. The only power the President has over them is the appointments and civil service. But other than that, he cannot change a decision of the COMELEC. The President, without due process, cannot take out any COMELEC commissioner, and the chairman of the COMELEC can only be impeached. Now, when you say ang daming violations, what do you mean? Are you saying 10, 20, 30? Is there 30 million violations? Is there 10 million? How many violations are there? Because they have to affect the outcome of the elections in order for the COMELEC to actually suspend elections. And that's what you call widespread cheating. But if these are single complaints that have been amplified because you put them on social media, think twice. Okay? Think again. What you may think is madami may not be madami at all, because let's say you get 50 complaints about questionable ballots and Attorney Glenn Chong wins by 200. Will it matter? Diba? That's how you have to look at it. Look, election cases have to take in the bigger picture. Kunwari, ako na disenfranchise. Ako na hindi ako nakaboto kasi ginawa nila to sa akin. O na-void yung boto ko kasi may problema sa ganito. That's your right as a voter that has been violated. And you can protect that right. But even if you go through everything and there will be so much time spent on your case on a matter that will not affect the outcome. The state has to balance things out. Diba? The amount of time and money to be spent on a single voter's case as against the need to be able to put in our officials right away. to prevent a delay in the electoral process because each delay may cause cheating, may cause doubt on the outcome. Diba? So that's a balancing of interests there. Sure, you can still protect your ballot by filing a case, and yes, maybe you will actually even win. What are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, bilangin niyo yung boto ko. So kung kunwari manalo si Glenn by 1 million votes, pumasok yung balota mo, oh, now Glenn wins by 1,000,001 vote. Diba? Please take the bigger picture into consideration. Not every mistake of the vote counting machine or of the ballot is an act of cheating. Vote counting machines are machines, and sometimes they break down. You know where the cheating is going to be? In the transmissions. It's not going to be on the ballots. Those ballots are evidence. Kaya nga kinailangan basain yung mga balota ni Lenny, di ba? Or di umano, na dapat basa. Kasi dun sa transmission, mas mataas kaysa yung dun na sa number ng actual votes. Or, di ba, kunwari, yung balota reflected say 100 votes for BBM. Pero yung transmit, 100 votes for Lenny. So, they needed to destroy the paper ballots in order for the transmissions numbers to be upheld. Okay? Sa mga nagsasabi, why not postpone elections and then switch to manual counting? I will tell you, in the longest line of cases ever since, a postponement of elections is rarely considered and requires legislative act. Okay. The only time that the state, the judiciary or the COMELEC can step in to postpone elections is if there is massive either anomalies that will prevent an actual election, massive violence that will prevent people from going to the polls, or massive fraud. Halimbawa, hinijack yung mga ballot boxes. Halimbawa, yung mga paper ballots disappear. Diba? Halimbawa, yung mga ganun, they have to be on large scales. Those are the only times when elections can be suspended. Otherwise, the courts rarely issue a TRO on elections. Bakit? There is no mechanism for the void that will be left when there will be no officials who will take over. That is why you need a law to extend the terms of people, because the law abhors a vacuum. Sa civil service kasi, kapag nabakante, lalong-lalo na yung positions of leadership, it is always dangerous. So, yung mga suspensions na ganyan, these things are anathema, hindi maganda para sa COMELEC and para sa ating saligang batas yan. Okay? So, sabi ni Brad Pitt, failure of elections. Diniscuss ko na yung failure of elections. RevGov. I mentioned RevGov also because of the restrictions on the freedom of speech. And part of those restrictions, uulitin ko po. The rule is free speech. The exception is when the law says you can't do that. Inciting to rebellion is dangerous speech and is punishable in the revised penal code. In the same way that Rodel Jaime is now facing charges of inciting to sedition. Inciting to rebellion is also a crime. Okay? Okay. Teka, chinecheck ko kasi mga developments nung sa iba. Sabi ni Ging Bernardo, comment lang daw on Jover. Lakas niya mang insulto, pero kaya ba niya mag-FB live and discuss issues based on facts, cite articles, sections from law books? Yun lang. Sige, wag na nating base sa ganda. Alam naman natin ano talagang totoo. The court already decided on that. Haha. Pero kung utak ang pag-uusapan, actually, she tried once to do a Facebook live. Pinaparody niya ako. At least yun yung kwento sa akin, na kunwari nagle-lecture siya katulad nitong live natin, pero you're right about the outcome on that. One last note on RevGov. Hindi ako against a total change of the system. On the contrary, when the president was a candidate, tinanong talaga namin Mr. President, if you cannot change anything, if it makes no difference, are you willing to participate in a revolution? And he said, if it has to take that, yes, but the system has to have failed first. You know why? Because the president knows the law. He knows he cannot call for a revolution because he would be guilty of inciting to rebellion. And he doesn't encourage us to do the same. Okay? I think that if the president wanted a revolution, then we have to wait for his own good timing on this one. He will know. And if ever, he will issue his own call. Ako, I'll stick with the president and his timing. I will stick with the president and his timing also on things like federalism. That's why I listen to Sara Duterte. Okay? Because she knows the president's timing on this one. There's some things that we really have to let him decide on. Maniwala man tayo dun sa virtues ng Rev, not RevGov, there's no such thing. A revolutionary government is one that takes over after a revolution. But I think that the president being the president, becoming the president, is already the revolution. Laki ng pinagbago na natin, di ba? I mean, of course, there's still a lot to be changed. We're still very undisciplined as a people. Pero yung build, yung free tertiary education, focus on healthcare, the fact that people are involved, the absence of the oligarchy in major decisions and projects, that's a revolution, di ba? May iba po ako, sabi ni Bambi Mortel. May issue po kasi sa... si Madam naman, pakisagot na lang si Madam. Sabi ni Dan Med, I have a modest idea on how to correct the election process. I'm eager to share this idea with you and Attorney Glenn. How could this be possible? It will be possible after elections. I understand. Unless Attorney Glenn has time, ako tinututukan ko because I really am concerned about his candidacy and I'm concerned that people might not go to the polling booths. Okay. Sabi ni Rob Cruz, this should be the last of the current flawed electoral system, replaced with a hybrid as proposed by AGC. That's why we need to make him win. I'm sorry to overemphasize this. But I think Glenn should win. Our best chance at changing the electoral system is if Glenn wins. He's the only person. Pansin nyo, yung kabilang parlor, wala silang electoral reform sa agenda nila. Not a single one. They're not concerned. They're not worried about it. Sabi ni Bobong Sinogaya, kailan ba madesisyonan ang electoral protest ni BBM? Di ba pwede i-pressure ang Chief Justice? Hello guys, that's so dangerous to suggest. First of all, the President has already said that he recognizes and upholds the independence of the judiciary. Ano kala niyo sa kanya? Katulad ni Noynoy na ang bastos-bastos nun sa Korte Suprema kung anong inuutos kay Justice Corona tapos nung pinalagan siya, pina-impeach nila. Our President doesn't roll that way. He's a lawyer. He's subject to the discipline of the court, the Supreme Court in particular. Even if he is the President, he's not going to violate his code of ethics on this one. No. Pressuring the Supreme Court is not something that we would suggest to anybody. The court has to be independent. Because the court has to be able to tell us when we are already going into extremes. Pag yung sobrang panatiko na tayo, sobrang na tayong bilib sa presidente, the court will say, yeah, wait, you're going against the law. This is what the law says. Come back and toe the line. The Supreme Court will balance us. The judiciary balances us. Okay? So, why am I being very conservative about this? Because the President is being conservative about this. Okay? Okay. The other thing that you have to be very, very careful about is issuing statements na may dayaan na sa ganito. May dayaan is a conclusion. What you can say is, Ma'am, may ganitong nangyari. making the conclusion na may dayan is not your job. The conclusion na may dayaan is up to the COMELEC or to the courts to decide. What you can present is, ganito po ang sinabi, ito ang nangyari. Then, you won't be treading dangerous speech. Okay? Pakibati naman si Madam Margo, huwag kakalimutan 181 AA Kasosyo. Okay? Nanonood si Madam, nahiya ako bigla. Sabi ni Dave, bumalik na yung mga manok sa background, hindi po, gising na po sila. So, okay, ulitin natin. In the whole Bikoy issue, underlying all that is the freedom of speech. Nasa gitna tayo ng laban at ang ginagamit na topic ng kabila ay ino-oppress daw ang freedom of speech nila. Pero nakakalimutan ng kabilang parlor na ganun din ang ginagawa nila. Diba? Anong ginagawa nila? Manipulation. They are using the freedom of speech and abusing it to the point that they have transgressed the law. Because the rule is freedom of speech, the restrictions are, among others, meaning this is not an exhaustive list, you can't incite to rebellion, you can't incite to sedition, you cannot incite to treason, pag wartime, you cannot libel, you cannot make false utterances or false publications. Okay? And during elections, you cannot, under any circumstances whatsoever, speak or make speech. Speech that tends to have people lose faith and confidence in the electoral system is punishable as an electoral offense. And if you are helping out a candidate, your candidate will be affected as well. The violation of the election code carries with it a penalty of about 6 years. Okay? But more than that, if people lose faith in the electoral system, then there are people out there who could have voted for Glenn, who could have voted for Mocha, who could have voted for Amy, who might not go to the polls. So we need all the votes to come in. We need all of our people to vote. Please don't make people lose their faith in the system. We have to continue to be suspicious. We have to continue to report if there is a problem. But don't make the conclusion na may dayaan. Okay? Do not make the conclusion na may dayaan because yung conclusion na yon will be made by the investigative agencies. Okay? Yun lang po yun. I'm not saying you shouldn't post these anomalies. Feel free to do so. But think twice if you're going to share it, if sa tingin ninyo, this is going to cause people to not vote dahil nawala na sila ng tiwala dito. I think that if you want to prevent cheating in the next elections, the battle cry should be, let's go out and vote. Because the president was cheated daw in the last elections, but he won anyway because people went out and voted. Ba? Let's do the same now. Please make sure that people will vote. So yung mga OFWs dyan, paalala niyo lang, AA Kasosyo number 181. Okay? Please tell them to go out and vote. Please tell them huwag silang tatamad-tamad on election day on May 13 because we need all of the votes to come in. Para hindi tayo dadayain. Mahirap po pagka maraming bumoto. Okay? Para dun sa mga nagsasabi na biased ako in favor of Mocha, opo, totoo yan. Para dun sa mga nagsasabi na biased ako in favor of Glenn Chong, opo, totoo din po yan. Okay. Sabi ni Joyce, it looks like sundalong making tahol again about the Bikoy video. I don't think he's very credible when it comes to lecturing us on the Bikoy video. And remember that he has to speak out kasi maliwanag dito na nabanggit ang Magdalo Party doon sa reklamo ng NBI. So talagang kailangan niyang umangal. Okay? Doon sa nagsasabi na Amy, Larry Gadon, of course. Diba? Pero syempre, unahin ko muna si Madam Mocha. I need you to vote. The country needs you to vote. Okay? So the country needs you to vote. And remember, vote for only one party list. Only one. Don't invalidate your vote by voting for more. Para dun sa hindi pa nakakaintindi ng party list system, yung live namin 2 days ago or so, naka-title naman eh. Please watch that so that you'll understand how the party list system works. Okay, last 2 questions. Baka inaantok na yung iba eh. Pedro Abellanosa says, direct to say you have your rights and freedoms, but your rights and freedoms will end upon stepping on other rights and freedoms. Yes. Any update on Red Santillan's case? Wala pa po akong update, but I will try to get in touch with Attorney Chong to see what the updates are on the cases that he filed in the Ombudsman. Sabi ni JV Kochinko, medyo suspicious yung ibang videos na pre-shaded na yung ballots na wag na lang daw bumoto. Yun, and that's a very dangerous thing. Always question those videos that say wag na kayong boboto because they're not on our side. Okay? Sabi ni Bobong Sinogaya, what I mean is Chief Justice Bersamin i-pressure si Justice Kagiwa na tapusin ang electoral protest. Di si Justice Bersamin naman yung nagka-problema. You know, one justice cannot pressure the others except siguro yung tanungin na hindi pa ba tapos yan. Pero it's not the justices na mabagal talaga. Mabagal yung counting. It's really the counting because it's a manual count. Sabi ni Noriel San Pedro, okay na naman, dala ng barangay namin si Glenn Chong. I hope to see more stories like that. Pero gusto ko rin makita yung mga stories na okay naman, dala naman ng barangay namin si Mocha. Please, dali ng barangay niyo si Mocha. You know, it's not that I'm worried that they won't win. In fact, I'm sure that they're going to win. Pero if there are people who are encouraging other people not to vote, then that becomes more problematic, di ba? Sabi ni Dennis Inojales, gagawa ako ng party list for OFWs, but I need the likes of you. Sure naman, di ko naman pwedeng, kompetensyahin si Madam Mocha, no? Sabi ni Emma Jordan, kung di makaupo si Attorney Glenn, walang mangyayari sa kaso ni Red Santillan. Well, it's more like this. We need Glenn in the Senate so that there will be electoral reforms. Para sigurado na tayo, or at least mamimitigate natin yung mga problema tuwing eleksyon. At hindi na tayo yung magpapanik na, oh my gosh, mukhang may problema, mukhang may ganito nangyari, etc. We will have a better system. Okay? Kasi alam ni Glenn yung loopholes eh. And he's the only one willing na banggain yan. Kasi yung mga nananalong iba, I'm not saying all of them, but most of those na nananalo, it's because they benefit from the system eh. Okay? So, kaya ayoko yung mga trapo. Ayokong botohin yung mga yan. They've benefited from the system. Kung pwede, yung mga like for example, si Amy, galing naman sa LGU yan. So, first time siya on a national level, then, except nag-congress siya. Pero, di ba, first time niya as senator. And, so, Amy, di ba? She can change the laws dun sa local governments para hindi na masyadong beholden, and we can initiate the steps later on for federalism. Okay? So, yung mga ganyan, i-consider natin yan. Huwag niyong kakalimutan uli ha, Chong, AA Kasosyo, huwag niyong kalimutan si Amy. Larry Gadon, these new faces. We need these new faces. Okay? There are others that I like also, pero kumbaga no contest itong mga to. Okay, don't forget, 181 ang kasosyo po sa ano. Okay, so we've wrapped up. Thank you very much for watching this live. Mag-hi naman kayo kay Madam kasi nanonood siya, Mocha. So, may mga live siya today that I've missed, so I have to go back on them. So let's not forget, it's encourage para ma-minimize yung cheating, encourage everybody to vote. Encourage everybody to vote properly. 12 lang sa senators, maximum. 1 lang po sa party list. Maximum na yon. Okay? Para dun sa mga OFWs, don't forget, utusan nyo na po yung mga pamilya ninyo to go out and vote at mag-suggest na rin po kayo kung sino yung iboboto ninyo. Huwag kakalimutan po si Madam Mocha at si Glenn. Okay? Ano pa ba? And don't forget to like and share these videos. Pagka sa tingin ko marami na namang hindi nakaintindi, we will keep repeating what we say here until people understand. Also be very, very careful. And last reminder, please be very, very careful also about the kinds of speech that are limited, that are being restricted, especially ngayon na election period. Okay? Let's encourage people to vote. Let's encourage people also to be critical. Hindi po lahat ng pagkakamali sa electoral system ay pandaraya. Pero hindi rin po lahat ng pandaraya will count in the long run. Okay? Ingat-ingat po. Maraming salamat. Don't forget to like and share. And please, yung hindi pa po nagfa-follow, like and follow sa Luminous by Trixie Cruz-Angeles and Ahmed Paglinawan. Thank you very much.